welcome to today's insight. And today's insight is going to be about figuring out or understanding that what you've known your entire life is actually partly fake or partly false. Now, why do I say that? Because I had this idea this morning, which I remembered, because I have a younger sister and I am a Libra and I like to share knowledge. So when I realized when I was a child that Santa Claus was a made up person, I let her know. Now, in my mom's mind, what I did was wrong because I took her out of her childlike innocence way too quickly. But in my mind, as a child, it was a false narrative people were telling us, and it was like I needed to let her know. And I have to ask my sister what her perspective on this is. But what I'm getting at is, would you, and what I want to actually know, like leave it in the comments. Would you actually prefer that I tell you in advance that something was not fully clicking anymore, not making sense anymore, or would you have rather have been in the dark about it? Which then made me think of all the whistleblowers about things that they discover, something that they discovered about things that were taken for cold hard truths, but that weren't, or people who change religion because they realized that what they believed in was not exactly what they thought of, as was the case in my church like 2-3 weeks ago or last week. Someone decided to become a Christian because she just felt that the love that she felt in Christianity was more real than what she had been taught about Islam her entire life, which I'm not saying that is correct or that is wrong. I'm just saying that she needed something more more emotional than dogmatic, I think. Don't quote me on that. But now that got me thinking of all the people that are like, no, I know the truth, and so they come out and say it, and a lot of people call them naysayers and conspiracy theorists and all those things. But are they really, or are they just letting us know that, some of the things that they tell us aren't actually 100% true, that they just feed us these lies just to keep us quiet? That made me think of the blue and red pill in The Matrix. And the red pill represents knowing a cold hard truth that's going to be hard to swallow, but that will allow you to liberate you. Whereas the blue pill, right, is something that you just know, like that you believe, and that isn't really going to help you get anywhere, right? So it's really a question of what do you want? Just to make sure, I did a little research on Wikipedia, and it says the red pill and blue pill are metaphorical terms representing a choice between learning an unsettling or life-changing truth and by taking the red pill, or remaining in the unquestioned experience of an illusion appearing as ordinary reality with the blue pill. Red and blue pill, right? So the last one is the blue pill. And this actually is what I want to know. Should I continue on sharing with everybody the little tidbits that are coming to me, the little insights that I get that might be a little controversial, but that awaken people, or that give them a different perspective on the reality that they have been living in their entire life? or should I keep quiet and keep these things to myself as and let people not know like the wonders of the world that might actually exist, but that will keep them cocooned in a space where they don't feel triggered or they don't feel that they need to like alter themselves for, because what is life but something that, well, actually, because so my understanding is that we are human, we are spirit living a human experience. And if we are spirit living a human experience, wouldn't we like to know that we are actually souls, not just humans, and that after this lifetime there is something more? Now, we can go deeper into this depending on what belief you have, depending on what school you follow, and blah blah blah, right? For Christians, when you die, there is a waiting period between when you die and when the devil, you know, it's the God wins over the devil. Now, I've never seen it as there being a waiting period between the moment you die and the moment you go up to heaven, or the moment you go and then there's like, the way I saw it, all right, there is no waiting period between your dying and like Judgment Day. It was just immediate. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know anymore because I almost died. Right? I almost died. And the fact that I was put in an induced coma made it so that I did not have a near-death experience. I just had I did have a near-death experience up until the time they put me in an induced coma with drugs and stuff. But by drugging me, they put me under while my body was recovering. Okay? So, and they used a drug to do that. And when my body was healed enough, they stopped the drug. It actually took me 50 days to get out of that coma by myself. Now, the interesting thing is that when I was in that coma, and like from the moment when they stopped the drug to the moment I woke up, I had this I just had a realization. I had a very long waiting period in my mind. It was like this dark black room. Well, it wasn't a room, it was just a space. That's why I said room. But it was like infinite. I didn't see any edges. I just saw black. It was all black. And to my understanding, I was in the field of consciousness, which is just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just where we go, right? Because we all go to this place at some point. I'm basically trying to explain what I don't understand myself. Right? So it's gonna sound like, probably it sounds like gibberish at this point. Which takes me back to a text that this is very chaotic. When I was in university, one of my teachers had us read a text that was so complex, so ununderstandable for my group mates that a lot of them were like what is he trying to say? And I'm like, okay, well, this is what he means, and this. But the only reason why I understood those explanations, which made no sense to many of my classmates, is probably because I was in a situation that allowed me to sense it. For example, we were reading Descartes, right? I don't know if I Descartes, and Descartes' main line is "I think, therefore I am," which is the knowing that you exist due to the fact that you are thinking. And because I was in a coma, and that I was awake in my coma, in my mind, and I was like, okay, so it's pitch black, but how do I know I'm still here? Well, I'm thinking, and so, that's how I know I'm alive, because there's actual activity happening in my mind, right? I basically explained Descartes in like a minute. But then there was another, that was in philosophy. Now, I also took a psychology class, and in that psychology class, I think the writer was Nietzsche. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I can't remember, it's been a while. And everyone was finding it complex to understand the text, but again, I was able to explain it easily because I have been through a coma, and because I have gone through what they were explaining, what he was explaining, and it was very interesting to me. So, as much as my whole questioning in this today was more like a question than anything else, and I am aware of that, because I'm wondering, should I continue what I'm doing, or should I just stop talking and just allow people to live in what they want, in the reality they want to live in, and they'll basically find the information. Or with that, the flip side of that is that people who want to find information about reality will find me, and the other ones won't. So that kind of answers the question I was asking myself, which is I should continue and allow people to follow if they want to. But all this to say is that trauma is definitely going to allow you to open some doors that most people will not open, and to know things that most people are not privy to, because you've had a different life experience, and because of a different life experience, it allows you to see things from a different perspective and to comprehend things from a different perspective. And in either case, you just having a different perspective allows you to see things differently. And by that same token, because you see things differently, you can choose to use that for good or for evil. Or you can choose to help humanity with it and allow them to see that there's something more, that they aren't forced to stay where they're at. There's more to be discovered if they so choose. So in actuality, all this is just a question of choice. Do you want to see farther, or don't you want to see farther? So ultimately, when given the chance and when given the choice, will you choose to go deeper into something, or will you choose to stay on surface level knowledge and not go any deeper into the matter? Ponder that.